All right, this is week 2, beginning of September update for my AI business journey building in public. My name is Brandon, and I don't know if I'm going to be helping recruiters, but I'm building an AI service business. And I help small, mid-sized businesses take AI technology and earn money, whether that means doing something faster, better, cheaper. Love doing that. Why am I recording this? I want to remember what my goals are so that I aim for the right things. I want to think strategically, identify what the constraint in my business is, and then take actions to alleviate it so I'm not spinning my wheels. And I want to create an action plan so that even though I think big, I'm still going to do the right things with my time. And then I also want to be able to do iterative improvement where not just big picture, I actually track what I do each week, I look back at it, and I adjust for the next week. I believe I'm more likely to do those things with consistency and effectively if I view it through the lens of teaching the viewer instead of just doing it myself. So I'm going to record it and put this on the internet. Helps me, and if you happen to be watching this, you're going to get benefit. I'm also more likely to batch this sort of thinking if I know I'm going to set aside time to think about it during this video instead of doing it during the week. Pressfield, act, reflect. Never act and reflect at the same time. And then the last reason is I'd love to see where I've been in 10 years. Looking back on these videos is going to be a lot of fun. Heck, even in 1 year, it'll be a lot of fun. Plan for this video is to go over my mission and vision. I'll analyze my last week, including what the constraint was, metrics, and then some strategic decision making. I'm going to identify the current constraint and then plan this week. Still learning how to do these videos. Mission and vision. My life mission is based in Christianity. I believe the Bible is true. So I'm going to be a faithful follower of Christ in every aspect of my life, and I want to leverage business, leadership, communication skills to carry out his work across areas of priority in my life in this order: spiritual growth, relationships, wife comes first, then mentors, peers, mentees. Make God known through the way I live and what I do. I want to get better at everything that I do because I believe that honors the God I serve. And I want to rest because I believe that enjoying life is part of honoring God. And in order to work hard, I have to play hard so that I can work better after the fact. The specific vision that I have for my life is a variety of different things, including raising a family, meeting the practical and relational needs of strategic people in the world who will benefit from it, to have the financial and time flexibility to just do stuff when I think of it, like go to Japan in 6 weeks. I want time to action, and when I think of the thing, to be as small as possible. And the barriers to that are money and time. I want to be a skilled businessman so that I can start companies, advise other companies, and I believe that that's a fantastic way to improve the lives of people because business forces utility, and utility creates improved lives for the people who provide it and for the people who receive it. I want to develop social proof and then eventually teach other people how to do business, not just as an involved advisor, but creating content, writing books, podcasts, or whatever the medium is that teaching would best be carried out in, like college or whatever. And then I want to be physically fit enough to continue all the above things until I'm in my mid-80s. So regular food tracking, lifting weights, cardio is important. Practical financial roadmap to accomplish that. Number 1, I need to have enough cash to clear my debt. I still have $9,000 of debt, student loan debt that I got to knock off. Number 2, I want to save an emergency fund, and I want $50K because $50K at my current burn rate will easily cover 6 months, plus comfortability and business expenses. If I save up $50K, I'm ready to go all in on pretty much whatever and have 6 months back. Then I want to grow a lean business to $90,000 a month in profit, the kind of business I can shut down really easily and not hurt people, but will generate cash flow. Eventually, it will need to be productized. And at one point, I was thinking recruiter admin system, but it might be something else, like a consultant, some sort of consultant admin system or whatever. Then I could broaden into other productized niches or services. I could broaden into custom consulting at a high ticket price, like what Bain or McKinsey do. And I could broaden into selling info products about how I grew the business to that level. I don't know which I'll do yet. Right now, I have to get basic cash flow going first before I try to scale the business. And eventually start a portfolio of assets with enterprise value and reach $2 million a year in after-tax cash flow decoupled from my inputs. So leveraged cash flow in current US dollars, $2 million a year is my goal. But today, my constraint to all of that is getting leads to sell AI services to. Last week, in order to reduce the bottleneck of leads, the levers I could pull were Upwork applications, commenting on LinkedIn and writing content as well, and preparing for cold email. I didn't do anything with cold email because no cold emails will be sent for at least another week. I had goals of doing Upwork applications 3 a day and then putting out 30 LinkedIn comments a day on big accounts. I only had one client to fulfill work for at the time. And then what ended up happening with that is she asked for revisions on the build I did for her last week. And so I spent this week revising that instead of building her new thing, even though we already closed on it. So that was my fault for poor expectation management on the front end. And I'm learning that any sort of custom project needs to be minimum of $2,000, pretty much never less. New systems include prepping for cold email. I didn't do any of this. This will happen in the next week because of what the constraint ended up being. We had a friend in town this week. He slept on the couch right over here. It was a great week, but made it so that I did not have 70 to 80 hours to focus on my business. I had more like 45 or 50. It is what it is. This next week, we're back in business. It was completely worth the reallocated time. It was very in line with my life priorities. All right, metrics time. So last week, I had a paper spreadsheet. I tried to track my time. Didn't work super well. Because I couldn't decipher it once the week was over. Helped me stay accountable during the day, didn't work by the end. This week, I switched to Toggle Tracker, and so I now have a nice report of how things went. I need to update like how I do this reporting. Like I have one category here for fulfillment, another category that's just fulfillment for another client. So what I really need to do is break this down, and I need to have fulfillment as a broad category and then split that into the different clients I work for. But if I'm actively working on client work, that'll be the fulfillment category. Full-time job work, which was limited this week, sitting in meetings on Upwork or with existing clients, took forever. Comments and writing content for LinkedIn, sending applications on Upwork and sending messages on Upwork, and a couple other miscellaneous things, recording YouTube videos a while ago last week. As you can see, not a ton of hours this week. Hoping to double that this next week. Mostly because of these 3 days in the middle, as well as this Tuesday, where Tuesday, I forget what happened. Oh, Tuesday was the first day I downloaded Toggle this day. And then Wednesday, we were out of the house half the day, went to the beach with our friend. Friday, this week, we went to Disneyland. Saturday was Disneyland hangover. I did quite a bit of work this day, but I didn't track it, which I need to track every day. Sunday, same thing. Did a decent amount of work, but didn't track it. So I need to implement this 100%. My mistake. But in addition to that, 9 hours, 10 hours of actual productive work, split across fulfilling for clients here and here, doing full-time work here, and then a few miscellaneous meeting and lead gen strategies here, as well as time authoring content for LinkedIn here. So overall, I think that this pie chart fits the current constraint, which is primarily fulfilling existing obligations. Like these top 4 categories of fulfilling for clients alone is like 40% of my hours. When you add full-time work and meetings into it, that's like 70%. Lead generation takes up about 20% of my time, which I believe is a fair split. So yes, I think if you break down how I spend my time, it's being spent well. Additional metrics. Review my spreadsheet. So P&L for the week. I only closed $600-ish this last week, $625 on Upwork. But then you multiply that minus Upwork's 10% cut, $562 in cash flow. That's 50% up front, and then I'm going to get another 50% of that once I finish the job. This week, I didn't make anything from that client, but I closed one more guy, but it's a paid project trial. I'm extremely excited about this guy, but I need to deliver on the paid trial. This guy's an absolute stud, has run multiple excellent consulting firms. Now he wants to get into the AI consulting space. He has a school community of people who he's starting to teach, but it's brand new, but this guy's the real deal. I've heard about the consulting firms that he built. I did some digging into it, and he's worked with everybody from Alex Hormozy to Y Combinator and gotten results. And now he wants to become an info product guy because he enjoys it. And if I deliver on this, eventually I could become like the go-to technical person for the consultants in that community. He pulls in high-level consultants who don't know AI, and so that could generate tons of leads for me down the road. So this is a long-term bet, and there's no downside other than my time, which is the kind of bet that I want to be taking right now. I'm pretty confident that in the next 2 weeks, I'll have my breakthrough week where I earn many thousands of dollars extra because of the stacked up proposals and work that I'm doing now. Something will pop. Spent a few $100 this week, and as you can see down here, that was largely because I bought a Starlink router. The Wi-Fi in my apartment has been crashing every few hours, which has caused tons of disruption to my work. So net income was negative this week, and my total cash income is still negative, all things considered. So yeah, profit overall, $250 in profit though. When you do revenue minus expenses, net income is negative, which is sad. Yeah, so still need to get cash flow positive 4 weeks in. I got to figure out a better way to do this. This is super basic. The numbers are all here. Upwork this week, I only sent 5 applications, way under my daily goal, but I had 3 interviews and then got another message back, and 2 of these were people asking me to apply. And then in addition, 2 people sent me messages that I've previously interviewed with, like the week before I started tracking, and they were like, hey, we do want to work with you. Like we talked about jobs, and they're agencies that have sporadic work, but they liked who I am, and they said, we'd love to work with you later, just not yet. And they actually came back, so that's cool. Those might work. I have 2 proposals that are out right now, and those are still working. The interesting thing I learned about Upwork this week is that it's like lottery tickets. Most jobs are trash. They want the cheapest people from the Philippines possible. Some jobs are good. It's an actual like business person, agency owner who could use a quality person. The best jobs have the worst job descriptions and they have the best people behind them. It's a high-level person probably who just wants to check talent. And then if you send in a Loom video that you come across as professional, they'll talk to you. So this last week, I was on the phone with 3 people who were phenomenal people. One of them I'm now working for on a test basis. Like I said, consultant, worked with Hormozi, worked with Y Combinator. Stud of a person. If I can link up with him going forward, that'd be huge. Second one, solid mid-sized marketing agency owner, super sharp, but the job posting was simple. She wanted to exchange notes on the call. Third one, super smart founder from the Silicon Valley, and has done everything from be the director of all digital product for StubHub to be the director of digital experience at Tesla. So the user experience on websites and in the cars, this guy was in charge of that. Super, super strong resume. Google, Microsoft, others. Now he's starting an AI, it's essentially an AI consulting firm. He's calling it a product agency, which just means he's positioning himself as like selling custom software products that are really AI integrations on the back end with like a Lovable or Bolt front end. So it's a really smart way to monetize it. And sent a proposal to him for a marketing system. He really liked me because I can move fast and get his ideas. So I've got 2 proposals out that I'm confident. I'm like pretty confident at least one of the 2 will hit in the next 2 weeks. And then 2 people who could come back. So Upwork is lottery tickets. Bulk applying to jobs that look good is a bad strategy, I think, because those ones don't generally respond. And if they do, they're going to either want the highest level talent based on the platform, or they're going to want the cheapest talent. And I'm neither. I'm good if you get me on the phone. I can sell. I can catch your vision. So I know what sort of jobs to apply for moving forward. LinkedIn, I recorded what I did. I have sent out a lot of connect requests. I'm up to 900 followers right now, 897. So I'm guessing that by the end of 2 weeks from now, so not next week, the week after that, my report will be that I've hit 1,000, which is great. Most of my impressions came from 2 good posts this week. So once all my posts go up for this week, I'm going to choose the highest performing of these 2 and make a carousel out of it. But that's a different thing. Cold email coming soon. So there's my metrics for the week. Keep doing this, blah, blah, blah. Keep sending Upwork applications to the nothing descriptions, because those are the ones where I can get on the phone with someone and then they get to know me for what I can provide. Those are the free lottery tickets. Upwork is a terrible long-term lead source because most as a primary, because most jobs are bad, but there are enough rock star jobs on there that it'd be stupid to not keep putting lottery tickets in there and then eventually seeing if one will hit. I've known people who work with massive companies through Upwork. You just have to get your profile to the point where you get top rated or expert vetted. So I'm going to keep doing that, but not like 5 a day, like 1 a day, and look for the small ones. Daily client updates are great. Every client loves it so far. 3 to 4 posts on LinkedIn a week, because I'm already learning a ton about what works and what doesn't right now. Additionally, I need to keep sending LinkedIn Connects to my target audience because it's broadening my follower base super fast, and I'm like the content is getting distributed to the right people. All of a sudden, after years of only having like college friends on my LinkedIn, now I have a bunch of people on my LinkedIn who are my target customer profile, which is great. No sales yet because I have written no content that actually plugs what I do. It's been informational and testing the waters. Things to start doing. My bottleneck this next week is going to be fulfillment. So do fulfillment first thing in the day. I'll flesh that out in a second. Really learn OpenAI and N8N. Read their docs. Take courses on it on YouTube. Go the long way around when building. Don't just do a template. Actually build from scratch. Stop just writing LinkedIn content for content's sake. I need to write content for my target audience, which is going to be consultants and recruiters. Consultants, recruiters broadly are the two like parent groups, and then I've got sub niches within those: dental recruiters, med device sales rep recruiters, and then executive coaches, marketing agency coaches, and one other one that I'm forgetting right now. But I have niches within those that I'm going to start testing. I need to write content that shows I can save these people time, because that time is going to be my outcome. I don't want to compete on lead gen. There's too many other people doing that. Might be stupid, but I'm going to try that first. We'll test. And then quick commenting for comment's sake. The list of people, I have about 200 people in lists right now that I've been going through and commenting on in a day on LinkedIn. And what I realized is I made the mistake of making lists of people who I want them to connect with me, instead of I'm commenting on the people who my target audience watches. So it's super low leverage to leave comments on a post that gets 100 impressions, because the only person who's going to see the comment is the guy that wrote it. And that guy doesn't care about meeting me. That guy cares about me boosting him. What I need to do is get in the comment section of people who consultants read, who recruiters read, and like mid-size. So not the 500 comments every LinkedIn hustle guy is down there. The people who have like 20 to 50. So like Wade Foster is a great example of this, CEO of Zapier. He has a phenomenal comments section. People are engaged down there. His posts are super valuable. I love leaving comments on there. And there's a few more people like this. So I need more comments like that. Actual time allocation fit with my constraint. Yes, just I need more time working. like first thing this week needs to be fulfillment to attack the constraint, like working for my clients. And I need to spend a lot more time. Like I need to see 60 plus hours on Toggle this week. Energy and time management. I love problem solving workflows. When I get in flow state in N8N, it's super fun. It's really rewarding right now. It won't be that way forever, but it does now. Sales calls make me feel alive. It's so fun being on a call with an excellent person, learning their idea, and explaining myself and how I fit into it. Long-term, high-pressure sales calls and development is where I belong. But to do it well, I need more conviction on what I'm selling and more proof that I can ask high prices, touching that further down. I'm also enjoying my deep work single sessions. So instead of switching things every hour and a half for the first time in my life, I have ADHD meds as of last week, and it has made deep work fun. My entire life, I've never been able to get into focus sessions. I've tried for all college, all grad school, all my jobs, could not do it. Now I can, and it's the best thing ever, being able to just sit at my desk for 5 hours and work on one thing. Earplugs in, a little bit of stimulant, a little bit of diet soda. It's amazing. So keep doing that. Focus on that. Frustrated. Bad LinkedIn commenting. Sucks. Stupid. No ROI. Takes forever. Clunky interface. Bad Wi-Fi. This week my Wi-Fi has dropped out probably 3 dozen times. That's why I bought a Starlink. Urgent meetings really frustrate me. People who are like, hey, can we talk for 15 minutes? Hey, we need to talk on this day. Hey, I can only talk in the morning or whatever. That frustrates me to high heaven because it breaks up my flow. And then if meetings aren't blocked, the hour and 15, hour and a half in between, it's just wasted. And then low cash flow. I have jobs I'm doing right now for like essentially free, which I need to do that. I think if you go down this, that is the most effective way to achieve the goal of experience and value, such that people will hire me and I can ask higher prices in a justified way. So the goal is necessary. It is worth it in light of working for free right now. It's absolutely worth it. I'm not going to alter it. I'm just going to suck it up and do the thing. So to change other things, LinkedIn commenting, switch which posts I do. People more like Wade Foster, solid people, mid-level engagement, comment where my people are reading. I got Starlink. That'll resolve the Wi-Fi issue. I'm going to block 5 to 10 a.m. PST. No meetings there. These last 2 weeks, I couldn't afford to not take a meeting. Now that I have 2 clients and 3 on the line and a full-time job, like the bottleneck's now fulfillment, not leads. I can afford to push a meeting by a day if it makes the client less happy, and keep my sacred deep work block every morning. And then in order to address this problem, like I said, I got to become more valuable. I got to do more stuff. I got to have proof that I am valuable so that I can ask for cash to compensate. Additionally, in order to ask for cash well, I need to have this identity that I'm worth the money that I'm asking for. And the action that does that is doing a lot of builds. So if I come to somebody and say, hey, here's an AI system I could build you, this outcome is going to be worth $5,000. Right now, that seems like a lot of money to me for one system. The highest I've quoted anyone is $3,500. But the actual action steps are just do a lot of builds and then ask for 50% more money each time until someone rejects me. That hasn't happened yet. Eventually, by building enough systems, I will know I am worth more. My identity will shift by doing lots of building, which is why even though I'm frustrated by working for near free right now, it has to be done. It's the best way to solve the problem. I found out I'm very good at sales when it comes to a deal this week. So when I'm actually on the phone with somebody, I'm very good at the conversation, very good at asking questions, very good at the dance of when to push, when to give, etc. I'm just bad at cold calling. I'm bad at walking into rooms and shaking hands over and over again. That drains me. But if I have, 10 appointments in a day, 20 appointments in a day, that's a whole different game. And as such, on the 12, 16-week horizon, like end of 25, January of 2026, I'm hoping to be launching, number one, a more productized business model, something that I can scale. Like, here's the one thing I do. How do I get this in front of more people and just get good at selling and building this one thing and maybe build a small team around it? And number two, I want to become a full-on content creator. I need cash flow to fund that engine because that will be my my lead funnel. It's my ad budget. So got to hustle first before I become a content creator. But eventually I want to have an inbound system that I build trust through excellent YouTube videos. Shorts are like Tinder for the YouTube videos. Like you scroll. I like this guy. Let me check him out. Then you go to the long form. Build trust on long form video, and then get people onto a sales call. And once they're on a sales call, I have so much fun. And I also enjoy long form YouTube. I'm just not good at it yet. This feels really unnatural because I'm forcing myself to do this video because I know that I'll improve more by just going through this bad Notion document and talking than I would by taking 6 hours to write a better outline for the video. How much battery does my camera have? 13%. I'm almost done. So next week, the constraint is my fulfillment skill. This is the one thing limiting my growth right now, I think. Not the systems I have, not the opportunity to work for people, not leads. I'm just bad. So when somebody hands me an N8N build, I'm not fast or good at building it. I trip over basic things. I get stuck on things where it's like I was literally just clicking the wrong button this whole time. What that does is I have low sales conviction. Asking for a lot of money is scary to me. My delivery times take forever. Things that should take me 30 minutes take me 5 hours. Not kidding. And then I don't know how to train, systematize, or grow. So my skill in fulfilling, I think, is my current main bottleneck. So how do I reduce that? Well, let's invert it. How would I make my fulfillment skill as limiting as possible? I would keep doing the bare minimum on the jobs I'm doing. Instead of doing them well. I would take shortcuts when the client asks for something, find a template, do it the most basic way possible. I would not test and refine anything. I would ship and close on the most basic version of the build that I could put together. I would not experiment with multiple builds and give the client the best one. I would not learn things that apply to my paid work. I would learn shiny object things like the new voice agent thing or the new, whatever thing. And then I would ignore current deadlines to chase new clients and learn new skill and start to slack off on my current delivery. Okay, so back to normal. If I forward think, if I uninvert, I need to start by performing max for current clients. I need to go fast, try to be as far ahead of deadlines as possible. Not because that's how I'm always going to operate, but because that's how I will improve. I need to have the highest quality possible, test, refine, improve. I need to document everything with videos and actually test different ways of building the workflow and test many outcomes and refine it for myself so I understand the levers and knobs I can pull and turn to improve AI workflows. I need to go the extra mile learning how things work. I'm not just going to use templates for all my builds. I'm going to read the docs as I build things. I'm going to learn the concepts of the APIs at a high level and then the specific level. I'm going to learn how the model I'm choosing works, what kind of prompting it likes, what kind of model training they are, what kind of company it is as I build with things. Like do the full behind the scenes learning. Most people are not willing to do that. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it feels pointless. That is how I will get ahead eventually because of conviction in sales and being able to find glitches in the market that I can exploit. And then finally, I need to do this first thing in the morning because I have the deepest focus when I wake up. And now that I'm taking meds, the meds are strongest right after I wake up. So for the next week, 5 a.m. to 9:45, 4 hours, 45 minutes, I will be focused building. So sit down, have a client project, and build. If I don't have any client projects, then I'm going to have an end-to-end template that I'm going to build, which will then create content for me down the line or a portfolio piece that I can put on Upwork or whatever. No downsides to this whatsoever. I'm not lead constrained right now. Every day I'm going to send only one Upwork application. Reason being, I'm no longer lead constrained, but these things take time. Like every application you put in, many of them get viewed 2 weeks later, or they get the budget 2 weeks later, or whatever. And additionally, I'm only going to apply to general job descriptions, not the ones that have a giant set of information about the job. Tim Ferriss liked to say, not Tim Ferriss, it was in his book Tribe of Mentors. Someone else said, I don't remember who, great opportunities rarely have great opportunity in the subject line. That's what I've learned with Upwork, is the best job postings look bad on the front end but are great, and the best looking ones are going to be hard to get and lower return once you get them. And then in additional lead gen, I'm going to post 15 good comments a day on LinkedIn. And in order to do that, I need to add 20 good consulting industry sources to my LinkedIn comment on list. Like the people where if I comment there, I'm in front of my target audience of executive consultants and, these other niches. Need to update my sheet accordingly. I believe I've already done that. Ongoing fulfillment. I've got templates to film for Andrew. I've got a lead scoring system for Lucy. I probably am going to have at least one new client in the next week. I have 4 who've messaged me, 2 proposals out, 2 people who've messaged me back. We will see what happens. I'm quite confident that sometime in the next 1 to 3 weeks, I will have my inflection point where I go from nothing to first substantial traction. And then, of course, I've got my full-time job to keep delivering for. Things are going great right now. New systems, new LinkedIn comment on lists, upcoming calendar. What events do I have to make good excuses about? Instead of seeing it and making an excuse to stop working? Well, my sister's birthday is this week, so I'm going to be gone all day going to an amusement park with her. Super fun. So that just means that the morning before I go, I'll only have about 3 hours to work. So yeah, constraint is my skill at fulfillment. I am the problem. I need to be better with AI. Know more, move faster, do higher quality work. As I do that, my selling conviction will go up, my delivery time will go down, and the amount of people who will be able to interact with me and not feel like I'm BSing them will also go up. I don't think anybody actually thinks that right now, but there is a chance that someone would if they're an ultra ninja, and I would love to be able to be in front of both the high-level business guy and the ultra AI ninja and fly with both. So yeah, that's where I'm at this week. How to improve this next week? I think I spend way too much time analyzing the last week. I think it should be more unstructured because the stuff I'm thinking about is good, and then have like a list of questions to like skim over and consider if any of those will help me think. So like maybe have this outline, but instead of reading straight down the outline, just like have it in like on a piece of paper and like read over it as I go. Like dump my thoughts about the next week and then skim the outline for things to do. So next week will probably look a little bit different, but there you go. That's week 2. And hopefully next week I'll have at least 1 or 2 more clients and be cash flow positive. So yeah, bye for now.